Hi guys, welcome to Antique Sprinklers. We have a fun one today. It's one where somebody other than me has to set up a sprinkler and run it and film it, so I always like that. And it comes from one of my favorite parts of having this channel. I've gotten to meet so many interesting people over the last 3 or 4 years just by posting these, silly little sprinkler videos that I make, and and they've all been just really great folks. And this example I'm about to give you is certainly no different. So through another video that I'd posted, I got a comment of somebody asking how to get in touch with me, and I always hand out my email address when that happens. And this time, it turned out to be a gentleman named Joe Golson from South Carolina. And he's a really interesting guy. He's had a long career in the green industry, starting when he graduated from Clemson University with a degree in plant science. Then he opened his own design-build irrigation company and ran that for 13 years before taking a job with his irrigation distributor, WP Law. And WP Law has a good business. They make pump stations, sell irrigation equipment, do a number of things. I know I'm not doing them justice, but you can look them up and see what they're about. About 13 or 14 years ago, Joe decided he was going to recreate the prototype of Orton Englehart's impact sprinkler. And so if you don't know the story about it, Orton Englehart, just very briefly, it's really the story of the founding of Rainbird Corporation. Orton lived there in Glendora and was friends with the Lefetre family that ended up owning Rainbird. And he was trying to find a way to have sprinklers rotate, more predictably, distribute water better, also allow the people setting up the sprinklers to stay dry while they were doing it. And so he experimented with a ton of different things. I was lucky enough to visit the shed where he did his sprinkler experimentation and invention. And it's an interesting place. You can still visit it there in Centennial Park in Glendora, California. And so anyhow, he submitted his patent for an impact sprinkler in 1933. It was granted in 1935. And there are pictures of his prototypes available out there. And along about, like I said, maybe 13 or 14 years ago, Joe decided to take it upon himself to recreate this prototype. And he did it using the materials that Orton did. He used metal strapping for the lever. He used, I think, parts of a tin can for the spoon, and then the wire wrapping from a broom for the spring. And sure enough, it ran. And I guess one of the things that sort of bothered him about what he'd created is it was a little more circular than what Orton's prototype had been, and so he sort of tweaked his design over the years, and recently ran it again. And he was more than happy to let me go ahead and show you folks how this thing runs. It's amazing. It's the same materials, built by just an individual using his hands. And he did go ahead and age the metal a little bit to give it a more authentic look. But otherwise, it runs the way Orton's would have run. It's really fascinating. You see the back end of the lever sort of hitting the pipe that's coming out of the back end of the sprinkler, and then it's a single nozzle. The nozzle in front is what's hitting the spoon and creating the pressure to load that spring with energy, and it runs great. So I'm very happy to be showing this video. Yeah, I think everybody understands my affinity for the history of the Rainbird Corporation, and for folks who appreciate sprinklers that operated that way and the people who developed them. And so just a short introduction today. I'm going to get out of the way and we can watch Joe's sprinkler in operation. Thanks so much for watching.